Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever I'm speaking with. First order of process is to share my screen, which I will do right now. Okay, hoping everyone can see my screen okay. The purpose of today's presentation is really just to go over EasyMile and absolutely like the panel says, to introduce automation, to say where we've come from and simply where we're going. For those of you who are unfamiliar, EasyMile is a automated technology company. We're kind of old in the grand scheme of things now. We've been around since 2014. You're speaking to me. I'm based in our Denver, Colorado office, although I probably can tell from the accent I'm not originally from there. We do have offices around the world, and our headquarters is based in Toulouse, France, which for us as a business is quite exciting, being with Airbus right next door and just being encapsulated within such a hive of activity and technology. We've got about 230, 240 employees and 22 nationalities across the country. What makes us quite unique is we're actually working with partners. We are not a publicly listed company. We're a privately held firm with strategic stakeholders from Continental and Alstom, who both have vested interests in our technology for their day-to-day business. So working with those guys is something that's brilliant for us as a firm. What makes us quite unique is that we're really focusing on the software element of the automation, which really leads into, and as we go through this presentation, you'll see, it gives a wide range of opportunities to how we can actually use automation for the better of whether it be public transit, material handling solutions, you name it. It's just making sure that we have the right application, providing the right solution, as opposed to, I always like to say that utilizing automation, we don't want it to make it a fairground ride. We don't want to take people from where they don't want to go to where they don't want to be. So we focus on the software and make sure that we partner with OEMs, traditional manufacturers across a wide range of fleets in order to provide the operations, provide the logistics that actually makes sense. As we'll go through today, the use and the applicability of automation. EasyMile today is really best known for the Ligier Group vehicle there far on the left, the Easy-10, the fully automated driverless electric shuttle, which absolutely is our flagship today. We also have a wide range of other vehicles, as the screen shows, that range from trams and trains within depot movements. So if you can imagine, the train comes in after its daily use, the driver gets out of the vehicle, our technology takes over to take the vehicle, take the train to the cleaning bay, take it to the fueling station, and then to the sidings at the end of the day. The TLD vehicle is a very exciting use case, very exciting application for airport type environments. It's an automated baggage tractor, which absolutely in that use case is perfect. But then you actually start opening the doors for material handling locations. We have a few projects at manufacturing plants, moving engines to the assembly line and back, which is about a half-mile route, which does the same day in, day out. We have the Avico 100-passenger bus, which, for the perfect use case at airports, for example. We have two major OEMs that we're working with, traditional vans, like a Ford Transit type environment, a bigger semi-truck, 18-wheeler there, and the forklift environment. EasyMile focuses more on the what we call level 4 automation, which essentially the key thing, the key niche in our market is our vehicles, our technology runs on a pre-programmed route. So we're essentially laying down, when we map an area, we're laying down virtual railroad tracks, downloading our entire environment, and then simply running in automated mode is simply overlapping what our vehicle has downloaded to what it's seeing in real time. And provided those two things match up, that's how we run in automated mode. The difference with level 5 autonomy, which arguably is the holy grail of automation, is you can drop a vehicle in downtown Beijing and then have that same vehicle operating in the Arctic Circle with no downloading, no nothing, and it's running fully automated. For our technology, we want to make sure that the vehicle has seen its environment first before we deploy. So what do we do as a business? Just very quickly here, we can sell, rent, or lease the vehicles depending on that end use case. And like we were saying earlier, the key products today is that Easy 10 solution and the Track to Easy, which we'll go on today, and I'll be able to kind of demonstrate where we've come from our 2014, first deployments to where we are here now in 2020. This slide here is just basically showing what I was saying earlier, that the shuttles run on this pre-programmed route, relying on localization, navigation, and perception in order to conduct its day-to-day. This is all possible through a product called Easy Fleet, which is essentially our fleet management system, which basically is able to pull all of this key information. Unfortunately, it's the technology today, it's across any of our platforms. It's not a simple case of us just handing you the keys and walking away. You know, there's a whole back end that needs to be managed, and we provide the training and the platform for you to be able to do that in order to actually manage the vehicles. So where have we come in 6 years? That vehicle there on the left is our Gen 1. In the middle, the Gen 2, and on the far right, the Gen 3. So you can see the team at EasyMile have very imaginative names for their 3 types of vehicles. But basically, as we can see, the evolution of the technology has grown better. So from far left to the right, the vehicle, our flagship today, has the latest and greatest sensors. It has faster computers. It is a vehicle that is future-proof for the next 4 or 5 years, whereas the 2 vehicles beforehand have outgrown the technology. So we have parked those vehicles and moved on to latest generation vehicles that can basically respond to the demands of technology today. As said before, it is a fully driverless and electric vehicle. The form factor, as you can kind of see from these pictures here, although that picture in the middle does kind of look like it, these vehicles are not going to be going on the highway at 70+ miles an hour. They really are truly designed for that first and last mile connectivity, connecting, for example, transit hubs to residential areas, connecting universities, business parks, hospitals, those types of environments, and taking passengers within that first and last mile solution. The key advancements over the years have been faster speed and more technology on board the vehicle, as we'll go through today. One of the proudest parts that I have to play is helping create this vehicle as a fully ADA accessible shuttle, something that's been very close to my heart, is making sure that we can deploy this technology and there's accessibility for all, as opposed to a certain few, which doesn't benefit anyone whatsoever. So it's quite a neat feature, and I recommend anybody being able to go online and seeing some of the videos. The shuttle will lower itself. There's an automatic deploying ramp. It's quite a neat feature, and definitely, like I said, helps make accessibility for all. We're proud that we've got the most deployed shuttle in the world. Sadly, those dots don't really reflect what we've done in North America, but we're very also proud of our recent deployment, as you can see on that dot right at the bottom in Chile, with our partner Transdev. That has been a first, definitely for the industry, and hopefully we'll have some more deployments in South America and within Mexico that we can deploy and mention very shortly. I wanted to just very briefly go through some of the key locations and some of the key partners that we've got across North America to kind of just give you a flavor of what the vehicles are doing. This project with the Utah Department for Transport, they have leased the vehicle for about 18 months. And their mindset is to try and figure out whether these shuttles, whether this type of technology is something that can be used within the future of transportation. For us as a business, it's quite cold, that response, because it's almost, they're taking a very black and white response to it of whether this can be something that can be used or cannot be used. So for us, it was a bit scary thinking, well, what if they don't like it? But they've been a fantastic partner for us across multiple locations within Utah. And yeah, we put it through the ski seasons with skis in it, to university campuses, to hospitals, to transit hubs. We've really been quite diverse. And I would definitely want to, if anybody was interested, would love to share some of the feedback that we've got from riders on their acceptance of the technology. It's been a really great project for us across such a great use case. This other project is now into the more airport type environments. So today they've got a transit bus that essentially runs around the parking lot within Dallas Fort Worth Airport and then connects up to other buses that have transportation links to the main terminals. Our shuttle has taken that, and for the transit operators, it's actually great because you're able to use a smaller vehicle with a smaller form factor. You don't have to run a larger vehicle through that. So then there's less wear and tear on their bigger vehicles, and you have these smaller vehicles just picking up the travelers when they park their vehicles to be able to bring them to another bus. This is a great project, and we're definitely tested in the heat of Texas when it gets up to 96, 9700 plus quite often. The air conditioning and the extended batteries have been something that's obviously very, very important. This is another fascinating project for us, and again, something that I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of and working with the team. Working with Verizon in New Jersey. They have a focus and they are utilizing the shuttle essentially as a 5G rolling lab. We know, especially for us within this industry, where are we going with this technology? With the advent of 5G connectivity, the possibilities are absolutely endless with automation. I'll give you one example. For us to be able to do remote driving, the current latency with 4G connectivity, in the greatest respects, does not have the level of safety and the responsiveness that we would then have with 5G. So for example, if we were remotely driving this from a remote supervision and we needed to do, let's say, an emergency stop, it's that latency over the 4G LTE connection is something that we have not wanted to pursue as a business, but we know with the advent of 5G, the possibilities for these type of things is something that's very possible. The other piece would be for remote supervisors to be able to see, for example, what the LiDARs are seeing in real time, what the cameras have been seeing for the past certain while, and what we can potentially see into the future. All of this today, we're limited by the current bandwidth. But when the advent of 5G and the single channels that can come with that, Verizon see the possibility with 5G, and we definitely can. So we've partnered with them on this deep R&D opportunity, which the project serves two purposes. One is actually connecting the main Verizon campus to their hotel, the Ridge, and it also facilitates this 5G rolling lab, which is an absolutely fantastic project for sure. And here again in Texas, it's been a great state for us on Houston Metro with our partner there, Texas Southern University with First Transit as the operator here. This project is on the university campus, facilitating this 1 mile loop up and down what they call Tiger Walk. Huge passenger numbers, and it is really a fascinating project for us for the university district circulator. I also did want to touch upon this project, which we've just launched in Canada with the University of Waterloo in Ontario. This is with several of our Generation 1 vehicles. So on that slide that I was showing earlier with the vehicles on the far left that are essentially now, they've outgrown the pace of the technology and where we're going in the future. So these vehicles are now essentially looking for research and development homes. With these shuttles, the University of Waterloo, we have sold them what we call the shells. So we haven't sold them, there's no LiDARs on there, there's no navigation PC, there's no GPS antennas, there's none of our technology. It is essentially just the shell of the vehicle, whereas the University of Waterloo and research partners are going to be putting their own technology stack on top of our platform that has a drive-by-wire capability, and they are creating essentially their own automated vehicle off the platform of our shuttle. This is a fascinating project to see where this goes, and no doubt, I'm sure EasyMile will be looking to employ many of the University of Waterloo students in the future. And then completely flipping that around, with COVID-19 and the impacts that that's seen to the business, and especially a form factor of essentially a smaller transit vehicle that the Easy-10 essentially is, we've definitely seen a rejig of the use of the vehicles. So here we have our Easy-10 solution. What we've done here in Colorado, locally to Denver and Westminster, we have utilized one of our vehicles. We've taken all the seats out, and essentially what we're doing with this vehicle is we are moving food boxes, perishable goods from the food bank storage area to a food bank distribution area. It's quite exciting, the fact that we're able to use the air conditioning on full whack to keep the perishable goods like the ice cream and frozen chicken and all that type of stuff cold. And we're able to move all of this supply, which they've seen something like a 400% growth between the two locations. And I think when our CEO initially set out creating autonomy, creating the concept of the Easy-10 for that first and last mile connectivity within city centers that have just seen congestion grow to no end, I don't think we ever thought that we could actually utilize this technology in this environment. So to be able to see the seats being taken out and this being able to use as a food bank transportation facilitator has been something that's, I don't think we ever expected to see as a business, and something that's unbelievably exciting to see. In the last few minutes, I think I've still got a few more minutes left. I did want to talk about another product that just shows what we can do with automation, and that is the Track Easy. This we really see as the rising star of EasyMile. Everything that we've learned and everything that we've developed over a few years has been on that passenger vehicle. But we've realized that changing the code less than 5%, we can actually put that technology on a wide range of use cases. That's why we don't manufacture, and we partner with leading OEMs, TLD in this case being one of them, to create this fantastic product for airports, which it was originally designed for, but within material handling locations, here are some of the typical use cases. The possibilities really are endless. To be able to use this indoor-outdoor transportation tow tractor, essentially, is something that we're really proud of. So we have a location which is using 5 of those within the center of the US, more for packaging and logistics within the country. And we've got another traditional OEM in the same type of area that's going to be using it at a car manufacturing plant, 3 vehicles to start here in North America. But across the world, the PSA Sochaux factory in France is one of them. Narita Airport, JAL, Japan Airlines, have purchased some of the assets and they're using them there. And then we have many other different locations, which really just shows the versatility of such a product. Here, like I was saying, is the Sochaux operation, which is essentially a large car manufacturing plant. Here is what the vehicle, as we were saying, was originally built out for. Japan Airlines were really struggling with a workforce shortage, and they were really trying to figure out a way to automate the luggage transportation operations. So to be able to work directly with Japan Airlines and our partner TLD and the smart airport systems has been a real feather in the cap, I think, for EasyMile. And it really just shows the confidence that these multi-million, in fact, billion-dollar firms are willing to put within our technology. So with that, I realized that we very quickly rattled through all of this, but I definitely wanted to open it up to questions if anybody had them. But I did just want to kind of finish here and just outline that EasyMile, we're exceptionally proud of the nearly 400,000 miles of driving that we've had. We've had a no collision record, and we are focused 100% on safety with a clear safety roadmap that shows true driverless technology. There's quite a lot of other competitors out in this field that sell and have this automated technology, but they still require the human being on board. Whereas we're focused on removing that human operator to really ensure that we can deliver the return on investments that only come with the onboard operator not onboard the vehicle, but having them remote and potentially not looking after one vehicle, but looking after a fleet of vehicles. That's when the numbers get quite exciting. We've got industrialized processes, and we're ISO certified 9001 currently, moving towards 26262. We partner with global leaders within the components and manufacturing, and our Easy Fleet system is certainly a one-of-a-kind fleet management system that helps partners manage and supervise vehicles remotely, as well as integrate non-EasyMile autonomous vehicles. And with that, I think I've done enough talking, and would leave any questions you guys have.